Leader of the Opposition.
Madam Deputy President, I move item number 588 outside of the order of precedence standing in my name, Standing Order 52 seeking documents relating to the Council boundary review and merger proposal and process announced by the Premier on 18 December. So I move that motion. Madam Deputy President, the Premier on the 18th of December last year made an announcement of a raft of forced council mergers after he and many members of his government, ministers and backbenchers had all campaigned stated that their position was against forced mergers. And the merger proposals was an unprecedented effort by any government, not seen in my lifetime, to systematically rort council boundaries to advantage the Conservative political parties in this state. And underpinning this outrageous power grab was a claim that the reforms proposed would lead to improved infrastructure, improved services and stabilised rates. Now, Madam Deputy President, as long as I've been around politics, there has always been this article of faith proposed by Conservatives that merging councils is inherently a good idea. That by merging bodies, putting their resources together, you get bigger bodies.
That's what you
get
said.
Economies of scale, and somehow in this magic pudding approach, you can provide more and better services and lower rates. But there has never been any serious intellectual or economic work that ever backs up this far right-wing sort of conspiracy article of faith. The fact is, Madam Deputy President.
So what do you say to the Tony Kelly report? Do you use the same argument?
Well, the minister.
Order.
Madam Deputy President, the interjections from the Leader of the Government demean him and his office.
Well, answer it.
Order.
The fact is that this reform proposal by the government is being done without coming clean with the community, which is why this standing order, this call for papers, is before the House. Submissions for affected communities close on the 28th of February. We think that it's unfair for affected communities, for councils to be merged, to have to respond to a case for forced amalgamations that hasn't been made. In the absence of the information relied upon by the ministers and by government to make these decisions that are being foisted on the electorate. The government has refused to allow a debate in Parliament, has refused to release papers. GIPers on the subject matter that have been submitted have been returned with entire whole pages redacted, pages black with the information not being able to be accessed. And we ask, perhaps rhetorically, Madam Deputy President, what is the government hiding? If this reform proposal is such a good idea, if they've crunched the numbers and if it stacks up, why not release the information so we can all see it, so we can actually have an informed public debate, an informed political debate on the facts in support of the government's case. So we can actually scrutinise the government's case and we can have a sensible discussion about it. But the fact is the government is running from the debate. They know it's not a sensible idea. They know that their proposal is inherently partisan and political. It's not economic. It's not about bringing communities of interest together. It's simply about artificially constructing political boundaries that advantage the Liberal Party in Greater Sydney. And of course, everywhere you go, even in Conservative strongholds, these proposals have caused great community angst. If you go to the bush, they're all up in arms about it because they know that these proposals will actually lead to more costs, less efficiency. And the fact is the government is hiding the information that it's proceeding upon because they know that their argument simply does not stack up. It's instructive that, of course, that the announcement by the Premier was 1 week before Christmas Day, after Parliament had arisen, when there was no serious scrutiny going on in the media or the community. It does smack of a cover-up. But let's not verbal the government. Let's give them the opportunity of agreeing to this Standing Order 52 and producing the information so that it can be seen by members of this House and by the wider community. The the government has not been transparent with the community, with councils, or indeed with those who... Well, what is transparent is this government's naked grab for power. This call for power, this call for papers, provides a way for affected communities to see the research, the information, the very basis upon which the government has relied to come up with their forced council mergers and their particular proposals. You know, why have they drawn the boundaries in the way they have? Let's see the data, let's have the information available so there can be a properly informed public debate. Because otherwise, it looks as if the government is running scared of an informed debate. They are trying to cover up the fact that they have not got a legitimate reform proposal they are proceeding with. It is just blatant partisanship, and that is bad policy. Thank you, Madam Deputy President.